Now we are starting maybe the most interesting part of our course. It is a practical part, practical lesson. So we have learned how the OSI model works, how data flows from one computer to another one. But we haven't learned how to make that connection. So let's speak a little bit about the network connection. If we want to send the data from one computer to another, we need to make a connection. But how make a connection? Which cables use? Which connector types is suitable? Now we will discuss these questions. So if you want to build your own network or want to connect two computers or just to connect your computer with some kind of network device like router or switch, then you need a cable. Of course, first thing is a cable. Actually, we use category 5E or Cat 6 cable. It's a twisted pair to build small LAN networks. Do you remember the LAN abbreviation? Yeah, that's right. It's local area network. So to build small LANs, home office LANs, we usually use a twisted pair cable. Okay, cable is the cable enough? Nope. Cable is just a cable. We need connector. This type of connector is commonly used connector in home or small offices. Its name is RJ45. It is. RJ stands for registered jack, as you can see, and 45 is a cable model. Okay, I think we have cable, we have connector, and it's all. Yes? No, of course no. We need also a crimping tool to connect the connector with the cable. But don't hurry. Let's discuss which types of cables can be used. The most used types of cables are two: straight through and crossover. But how to know which of them to use? The following list shows how to use two different types of cables according to the types of devices and their ports. For example, the following connections, which I will say, will typically require crossover cable. They are computer to computer, computer to uplink port, computer to print server or printer, uplink port to uplink port, it means hub or switch to each other. In this case we need crossover cables. Just let's discuss another type of cable. And in the following situations you would like to use a straight through cable. That connections are computer to residential gateway or router, computer to normal port to hub switch, it doesn't matter, access port to normal port, print server to hub or switch. Hi, it's me, It's right, your trainer. Now I will show you how to make RJ45 network cable. Of course, you remember that for this type of cable, for this type of connection, you will need cable that it is connector. These are the connectors. Usually for one cable, if you don't want to damage one of the connectors, you need two connectors and a crimping tool. Yeah, that's all. So I'll show you how to make this connection. Just remove this for safety, because here are sharp cutters. At first we need to separate the cover one of the cable, the isolation. For this reason we need to cut several centimeters. It's up to you. So we are going to cut the isolation cover, but here you should be very attentive, because you can damage the cables. I'll show you. As you can see, there are, just cut this. I will cut this because I think it's okay, disturbing us. There are 4 pairs. I'll show you. Look at this. Orange with the orange white pair, green with the green white pair, blue with the blue white pair, and brown with the brown white pair. As you can see, all the pairs are twisted to each other. This is wave tube is created between all this cable. Okay, just we need to separate them a little bit. We're separating them. And doing like this to be straight, and the sequence to put in this connector is the following. For straight cable, at first I will show you how to make a straight cable. It's EIA TIA 568B standard, most commonly used. The first one is a orange white. The second one is orange. The third one is green white. What do you think? Which will be the fourth one? Nope, it's not a green, it's a blue. The fourth one, let me finish the sequence and I'll explain you why the fourth one is a blue and not a green. So first one is orange white, second one is orange, third one is green white, fourth one is blue, fifth one is a blue white, the sixth one is a green, the seventh one is a brown white, and the eighth one is the brown, as you can see. So now we need to combine them, but you need to crimp them by your fingers very firmly to not mix the sequence. After doing it, just we are double checking it and sorting again if it need. So let's check. Let's again orange white, orange, green white, blue, blue white, green, brown white, brown. It's okay. Now we are cutting it approximately and leaving here only 1 or 1.2 centimeters. Okay, I will cut this here. To do not make my notebook dirty. Here is the connector. Look, a new connector, RJ45, as you remember. So we are putting these wires, just I'm firmly crimping this with my fingers, putting into this connector. Again, yeah, we are checking the sequence: orange white, orange, green white, blue, blue white, green, orange white, brown white, brown. You need to check it again and again because in my country there is a saying: measure 7 times and cut once. So after we have checked again and again, look at here, this connector. Here is a fixator who should firmly crimp the isolator. Okay, that's why we are just fingers pushing the cable into the connector as firmly as it possible. So we reached the maximal isolation input to this connector. Now we are taking the RJ45 crimping tool, putting here, you can see here, 8 pins, putting the connector to here, putting, and just pressing it as firmly, as hard as we can. That's all. After we have crimped the cable, we are checking the sequence again and again. Now, what we should do? Of course, we need to do the same this side, another side of the cable. Yeah, I forgot to explain you why after green white the fourth and fifth one are the blue and blue white. You know, the regular telephone jack can be connected to this RJ45 female jack can be connected, and the regular telephone use the middle two wires. So the middle two wires are the same of these connectors pins, are the same. So this was left for this middlemost pins left for RJ11. It's a regular telephone jack pins. For example, if you are installing in your home only jacks on the wall with RJ45 connectors, you can use them also for regular telephone one. Just the pins are different. Understand? That's why the middle two pins are different. So this was the straight one. And if you want to make a straight through cable, you need to do the same thing with another end of the cable. But I will show you the crossover cable, how to crimp a crossover cable, and automatically this cable will be a crossover one. So again, we are cutting the isolation of the cable, again very accurately. Pay attention to isolation, because we can cut the wires inside, which is located under this isolation. That's why usually I cut a little bit and I'm cutting little bit of the isolation, and the remaining one I cut by my hands. Okay. Again, here you can see all that pairs. Here is the brown, white, brown, green, white, green, orange, white, orange, blue, white, blue. In this case, in crossover cable, the other end we should start from green, white, because one pair of wire of TX, it means transmitting wires, for another end will be the receiving. So we need to connect receiving wires of one computer to transmitting wires of another computer. That's why we call this connection crossover connection. So the first wire is a green, white. Second one is a green. Third one is a orange, white. The fourth one is a blue again. The fifth one is a blue, white. The sixth one is an orange. The seventh one is a brown, white. And the eighth one is the brown. After we have sorted these wires, we need to combine them. Just follow to the movings of my hands. Just follow to my hands. Again, we are checking, we are correcting the sequence, combining them firmly. Look. Again, we are cutting it for 1 or 1.2 centimeters from the isolation. Again, I will cut this here. It's easy. It's very easy. Now, as you remember, we are checking again before putting it into the connector. Green, white, green. Orange, white, blue. Blue, white, orange. Brown, white, brown. Putting into the connector. Look, I've started from this. Green, white is this one. And the connector should stand like this. I'm putting these wires into the connector, crimping them as well as it is possible. Looking from the front of the connector, you should see the wires from here. If you can see, it means that all the wires reach to the end, to the front part of the connector. Now, I need just to push the crimping tool as well as it is possible and release it. Pushing the connector. Voila! You can see the connector is ready. It means we have a cable, and two ends of my cables are ready to connect to make a crossover connection. It means by this cable I can connect two computers without any switch or hub to connect computers directly. I can connect two routers to each other directly. I can connect two switches or hubs directly. So this is the crossover network cable RJ45. Okay, you have learned how to make your own RJ45 network cable. That's all. Thank you for attention. Bye.